To my left is Mr. Barry Fennell. Mr. Fennell is from Ireland. Actually, Barry is project manager within the program delivery and projects unit of Cooperation Ireland. Cooperation Ireland is the leading peace-building charity on the island of Ireland. Barry currently coordinates a regional family and community engagement project that works with British Army families. Barry has designed, delivered, and facilitated a number of reconciliation, youth, and community projects, conducted outreach work, and developed cross-community and cross-border initiatives. He holds a master's degree in peace and conflict studies from the University of Ulster. Everyone give Barry a really wonderful hand.
Can you all hear me okay? Yes? Good afternoon, everyone. Just before I start the presentation, and my kind and friendly colleague Arnold is going to be my technical assistant this afternoon. So bear with me, we'll be doing a few things this afternoon that I think give you some ideas and some themes about what this means to me. And I'm sharing with you, I suppose, my thoughts and my views from a very Irish perspective. What I would like to do, with your help, of course, would you mind just getting on your feet, everybody in the room? Just on your feet. And what I would like you to do is just look around the room. Have you all met each other before? Do you know everybody in the room? Think about how you feel in this room at this moment in time. That is an unknown quantity. You do not know other people. The theme that we're going to be looking at today is very much about connections and family. I am looking around the room now, and as Alan has already said, we would like this to be an interactive process this afternoon. It's between you and us. But the most important people in the room are yourselves. And the thing about this is, if anybody was to leave, there would be a bit of a disconnect. Does that make sense? Yeah? Thank you very much. You can all sit down now. It was lovely to look at you. You can sit down now. I think I need this. Can you remote? Sorry. Yeah, as Alan said, this is the sort of the theme for today: modernity and the family. My name is Barry Fennell, as Alan has introduced me as. The organisation that I work for is called Cooperation Ireland, and we're based on the island of Ireland. So it's between Northern Ireland and Southern Ireland, and we do a range of projects. What I would like to do with your interaction as we look at these images, these are from history, but they're also very current as well. What I would like to ask you, if you wouldn't mind just shouting out what you see. Two very historical images from different generations and from different times. The first thing that you will notice is that they are black and white, so they're obviously from the past. This one in the top corner is an image which is very famous in Ireland, and also a period of our history which we don't probably like to talk about. It's the famine, when a lot of people had to leave the island of Ireland. So think about that. They had to leave under very, very difficult circumstances, and they had to go to other places in the world to find a better way of living. And I think that's what this conversation and topic is about today. And the image at the bottom, and I just listening to what Alan shared with us earlier, this idea that the parent and the image here is the mother, which I see as Mother Ireland, and the car is going off into the distance, so it's leaving the homeland. So think about all those emotions, think about the strain, think about the disconnect, possibly. But I'm also going to give you a long list of words And these are just words that I would like you to consider and to think about as part of this conversation this afternoon. And I've just listed these down. Strain, as in the tension, strain. Fitting in, integration, challenge, disruption, relocation, emigration, moving, departure, journey, and there are so many more. The history of the movement of people from my country, from Ireland, is not new. It has been happening for centuries. And I am sure there are other people in the room who could share that same story with me and with ourselves. People move across the world. They are very transient. They don't necessarily settle or stay in the one place. They will move about. And I think that we could apply that to any particular situation or any particular country. And I'm thinking about, from an Irish perspective, if you travel around the world, you will always find an Irish person. Is that true? Yes? This is my first time in this country, which is a very beautiful country. And within one day, I found an Irish pub in Kuala Lumpur. And I was just, wow, an Irish pub. So think of the things that in terms of curiosity and the unknown. Throughout history, there has been the movement of people from the island of Ireland. So I just want you to bear that in mind. It's not new, it is ongoing, and it keeps happening. And I suppose we have to ask the question, why does it happen? Just want to sort of bring you up to date with some current images. The image at the top is, I think it's very interesting because those individuals are Irish citizens, but they are standing beside the statues of people who left the island of Ireland previously when we had famine in the country. So it's almost a juxtaposition of history. You have the old with the new, but there's a story behind this image because the people in that image are those that are about to depart Ireland again, because they have to find work and employment in different locations. They're all different skills. You can see a construction worker, you can see a person who's dressed in medical clothes. So they're going to different parts of the world because there's nothing for them in Ireland. And I'm not saying Ireland is a bad place or there are opportunities, but they feel that they have to leave. And the point that I was making earlier, again, the image at the bottom, it's quite emotional. If somebody leaves you, or a member of your family leaves, when are you going to see them again? How soon will they be back? And also think about the strain upon the family in that particular context. And I'm only giving you these as just an invitation for you to think about all these things, because as you well know, every picture tells a story. And I'm just getting, the idea of this session this afternoon is for you to question some of these images and to question some of the themes that we're going to be talking about. And I'll move on to the next one here. What I really want to focus on, and what I want to sort of, I want to challenge each and every one of you this afternoon. The National Youth Council of Ireland, who are a sort of a non-governmental body based within the island of Ireland, they have done a series of projects with young people and families. They do a range of different work. Cooperation Ireland actually have done some work with them in the past, just as an example. But they have recently commissioned a report which came out earlier this year. And the report, there's going to be a video coming up, and you can see for yourself all of the themes that we've been talking about in terms of the strain, the stress of people moving to different locations. So I think if you want to click the video there, Arnold, please. go to, yeah, so on.
Commissioned by the National Youth Council of Ireland indicates that over 1/4 of Irish households has seen a close family member emigrate in the last 2 years. Half of those aged between 18 and 24 have considered emigrating, while 4 out of 10 adults aged between 25 and 34 have also considered leaving the country.
In the last 4 years, over 300,000 people have emigrated from this country, and 4 out of 10 of them were aged between 15 and 24. A survey commissioned by the National Youth Council of Ireland has found that staggering numbers of people have considered emigrating. Of those aged between 18 and 24, more than half have considered emigrating. And of those aged between 25 and 34, 4 in 10 had thought about leaving. But this survey also shows that emigration isn't just a matter for the country's youth, as just over 1/4 of those aged between 35 and 54 had also considered moving abroad. The telephone poll carried out by Red C for the Youth Council found that 1 in 4 of those surveyed had seen a close family member emigrate in the last 2 years.
The majority of young people leaving left because they had to, because of the economic situation in Ireland. They're very resilient, yet they experience many challenges in their experience. Which thought was worth so in terms of providing information before they left that.
My apologies for that, folks. I'll just go back to the presentation again. Basically, that news story was carried out by RTE, which is the national television channel in Ireland. The report, as you saw from some of the figures, it's not just young people, it's generational. It goes from young people right through to an older generation. And people are choosing to leave Ireland. And it's something that we just have to consider and we have to talk about. You have to ask the question why. So we can go back to the PowerPoint again. I think if that's okay, Arnold. Huh? Okay. Sorry again, apologies for the interruption there, but you can't always trust technology, unfortunately. So I will do what I probably do best. I will just speak instead. But as I say, that video was just to give you an idea of that particular of people leaving the island of Ireland. What I just wanted to talk about very briefly is the current project that I'm working on, and I'm sure you're familiar with this. This is a word cloud, and this basically summarizes the project that I'm currently working on. We're working with British Army families who live in Northern Ireland, who are resident within Northern Ireland, but it may not necessarily be their home. So there's a lot of similarities in terms of what I've been speaking about with that community, because they're quite transient and the strains put upon them. And this particular community experiences a lot of difficulties as well. But as you can see from the graphic on the screen here, it just gives you an idea of all the various things that the project is trying to do. But the most important thing, and the key word that's on the screen there, is you'll see it for yourselves, communities. But I see even the people in the room here today and other individuals across the world, I don't think as communities, I think it as community that should be one. So we're all connected in some way. Again, this is another wordle, which basically means a word cloud. And the size of the text depends on the importance of that particular word. And this wordle is all about emigration, the theme of this afternoon. And the biggest thing there about the strain and the pressures about movement and people going to different countries, it impacts most upon the parents and this idea of parenting. If your child goes to another country or if your child decides to leave for employment or for other reasons. But there are also other things there that are very, very relevant, including advice, patience, exhaustion. There's lots of things there that I would like you to consider and to think about. And that's all I have to say. I'm very honoured to be here. I'm delighted to share some of my ideas with you. Again, the video link wasn't ideal. That was not planned, of course, but I'm happy to share my thoughts, and we're happy to take questions towards the end. But thank you so much for listening, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the convention. Thank you very much.
Very good. Let's give Mr. Fennell a really wonderful hand and thank him for coming and preparing so well for our presentation. Again, as you can see and as you saw in his presentation, there are two sides of this story of migration. And there's a cost or a cost benefit on both sides.